Okay, so first question. On your Facebook profile, you said that Groezrock would be one of the highlights of your European tour. Why do you think so?
It's a great festival to come to. It's well organized. We see a lot of our old friends here that we don't see too often. A lot of great bands. It's just an amazing experience for us.
And what do you mean when you say friends we don't see that often? Because you tour a lot with different bands?
Exactly,
like bands from New York and bands from different places and European bands. And then a lot of times you're playing the same day here with them. Parkway Drive, we know they're from Australia, so it's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
On Spotify, the most popular Ignite song is Bleeding. Is that your best song, or do you have different ways of measuring your songs?
That's gotta probably be in my top 5 Ignite songs. I mean, everybody likes different stuff, but yeah, that one, Live for Better Days, Veteran, like...
So you agree with your friends?
I think so,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Bleeding is it's one of my favorite songs that we play.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it too. The new record is called A War Against You. It was written from personal and political perspectives. What are the most important themes the lyrics deal with?
Well, I mean, kind of a lot of stuff. There's some personal stuff, some social stuff, some political stuff. So, I mean, that's typically kind of the songs we write about. Some political stuff. There's definitely like the song War Against You, the media manipulating fear amongst people, and then there's songs like Work, which is a very personal song about Zoe's dad.
Yeah, songs about addiction.
Songs about addiction, like Descend.
Yep.
So it's just life experiences, and then what's a social song, like a environmental song on the album, Kev?
Maybe.
Which one is? Well, the suffering deals with like the racial issues that we're still experiencing. You know.
Yeah, today.
Half of a decade after Martin Luther King thought we broke the color barrier.
Yeah, we're still fighting that. You know.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, your calling has always been to play music to make a change. Do you have a sample story of how you have achieved change through your music?
Well, I mean, I think, and you can walk around the festival today, and this is nothing to do with Ignite, but one little tiny piece we helped give exposure to the Sea Shepherds. When we first started coming over here, people didn't really know what this was, and as Sea Shepherds has gotten more exposure and gotten more popularity, people are involved on a much bigger scale now. And I'm proud to say we were one of the first punk rock or hardcore bands that was flying the flag for the Sea Shepherds.
Yeah, creating awareness. Yeah.
I have another question actually about Sea Shepherd. My calling is to make a change by teaching moral studies. I'm a teacher. And a couple of weeks ago, a Sea Shepherd volunteer came to our school to talk to my 12 to 14-year-old students. If that volunteer had been you, what would you have told my students? What should kids of their age?
Well, I think the biggest thing is there's two ways you can help. You can donate your time, or you can donate money. Those are two of the biggest things you can do. So we always ask people, if you don't have time, donate some money, and if you don't have money, try and donate some time, because time is money, basically. And it's expensive to keep the boats in the water. It's expensive to do all these amazing things that they do, so they really rely solely upon donations of time and money. So those are the two biggest things you can do.
I'm not really sure about you. If you feel like a true patriot, would you say you are patriotic?
Oh yeah. I mean, in some ways, yes. I mean, I do like where I come from, but there's also a lot of problems I have with it too. So yeah, I think I'm.
My question was actually, I'm not patriotic at all. A lot of Belgians don't feel it. Not compared to if I go to the States, you see a lot of like decoration people put out on their houses and stuff like that. We don't do that at all.
You don't do that. Yeah.
So my question would be like, how would you describe the difference between you and me as it comes to being a patriot?
I think a lot of it has to do with proximity. We're in this giant country with only 2 countries on our borders, really, and most of the people in the country don't leave the United States ever. So we don't have this, the feeling that we're Americans. I don't know, I would say if you're in Belgium, it's easy, you cross the border into Germany, into France, and it's not really, it's kind of interesting because people say they're New Yorkers or they're Californians, and that kind of feels a little bit more like how it would be in Europe, saying I'm a German or I'm a French, but because you're always crossing into different states. Yeah. But people identify with that. But I think on the bigger term, Americans just feel a little more isolated. So it probably feels like there's some walls up, so they find some type of sanctuary in saying, well, I'm an American and we're the best.
Are you?
I don't think so. I think everybody's the same. I think it's funny. You travel around the world and everybody's the same. People go to work, they have families, they just want to be healthy, they want to eat, they want to make some money to have some comforts in life, they want to watch some football games. I mean, it's the common thread is everywhere, the same thing. And people's sports, too,
Yeah, and nobody's better than the next person. We just come from different places.
And food is the same. You go to Asia, you go to South. There's meat and there's rice and there's corn and it's like people eat the same thing everywhere too. They just add different spices.
True, very true. Yes.
My questions have disappeared. Maybe it's your turn.
Do you think it's important for musicians to promote revolution amongst the people, or do you think it's up to the musicians, or do you think it's up to the people themselves if they dispute something?
Well, I mean, I think Ignite, for us, it's always been important to push a message. We play in front of a lot of people every day we play, Sometimes it's 100 people, sometimes it's 10,000 like today, and you have an opportunity to make a little change in somebody's life, to expose somebody to something maybe that they haven't seen before or heard about, or offer a solution to a problem by following a nonprofit that we push or a social group. So we feel some bands like to party on stage and just have a fun time, and I don't take anything from anybody, because if you're going to work hard enough to get on stage and have a career in music or even do it part-time, you should be able to say what you want to say. For us, that's how we feel.
How do you feel when you meet people who look up to you, who consider you as their hero? Would you, what I mean is, what are the positive and negative aspects to being famous or being well known?
What do you think, Kev?
Well, I don't feel like I'm any different than them, and I don't feel famous, so maybe that's hard for me to answer that question. But I'm very appreciative of the fans, and I'm glad they like what we do. And if they can take something from that, this is wonderful. And,
it's very humbling, to be honest. So, when somebody comes up and goes, "You're my favorite band," it's like, what? There's so many bands in the world, And it's like, or this is my favorite song of all time, and it's very humbling to hear that. It's really cool. It's a gift. It's a gift. Yeah,
absolutely.
There are a lot of fucked up things going on in this world, and we keep hoping for a positive change. How do you stay optimistic, and what things do you enjoy in life?
I think there's more good going on than bad, to be honest. I think there's some terrible things going on, but what the changes we've made over the last 100 years from society is awesome. There's a lot of really cool things that have happened. Of course, there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be conflict, I think, until we achieve some type of utopia, which I think is not possible, to be honest, because people are so different, and their views of religion and social ladders and climate is different. So I don't think you'll ever have people agreeing 100%. But I think a lot of positive things have happened in my lifetime that I've seen.
It's also inspiring to see so many people doing great things in the world. There is a lot of that as well. So we need to remember that and appreciate that.
Yeah. There's so many beautiful things that happen in the world that people sometimes only want to look at the negative because it makes better press.
I have one final I'm a free-thinking atheist who strongly believes in human and animal rights. Where do you see yourself, or where would you put yourself on that ladder you described earlier of your ideological possibilities? Everything that's out there in the world.
I've known Kevin for a long time, and we're so different.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's like everybody within our band, 5 guys, it's so different. Like, who's an atheist, who's not an atheist, it's so different. So I mean, I think it's just so different.
Yeah, we respect everybody's opinions.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's not one like representation for our band of viewpoint at all. We argue a lot about
That's good.
yeah
I think artists.
we actually do have debates.
about our beliefs, you know.
Sure.
So, but it's good. It's healthy, you know. And I think all of us are pretty open-minded to. I've been open-minded. Punk rock has changed a lot in my life. I grew up in a very conservative family, very conservative.
Yeah.
And so, like the first 20 years of my life was like super conservative. So I got exposed to this conservative world, and then the last 20 years have been punk rock and left-wing, and I think it gives me a good balance because I can see. I don't know, for me,
you can understand both.
For me, I understand both sides and see the good in people from both sides.
I was raised Catholic by my parents.
Yeah.
And
I was as well, yeah.
I did all the things that I was
Yeah.
supposed to do.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know both worlds, so I completely understand what you mean.
Yeah. I think it gives you a good lens to look through.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, so how does your family feel about your music, what you do?
They always asked me the first 5-6 years, how long are you doing this? When are you going to finish university? And then it became a career, you know, to something where hopefully we can do it for. We were just talking about this last night or 2 nights ago, about having the chance to do music for a long time, and how can we manage this and make it work for our lives, you know? So it's like taking inspiration from other musicians that go playing into their 50s and 60s and 70s. Like, how do you do that being a punk rock band, and how do you make that work, and how does it work for you as a person? So it's interesting. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We had a great talk. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of Groezrock and the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
obviously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Nice meeting you guys. Nice meeting you.